Okay, so today I'm going to talk to you guys about filmmaking abroad, traveling abroad, shooting abroad, whatever you're doing, whether you're shooting a wedding, a commercial piece, a lookbook piece for clothing. I wrote a blog post about this quite a while ago, but because nobody gives a shit about blog posts anymore, I thought I'd talk about it on YouTube and share it with you guys because there's lots of new filmmakers out there. Okay, so first things first is camera gear. Your lenses, your sliders, your gimbals, your steady cams, drones, anything like that, cameras. Is it cheaper to bring your own, which is a lot of luggage and airlines charge you per luggage, or hire gear while you're there? Now, hiring gear, is it less stressful or is it easier? It's a tricky one because when you hire the gear, you gotta pick it up, drop it off, and even though it's the same gear, will it work the same as your own gear? I find it's much easier and a little bit cheaper and just a bit easier on the mind if you bring your own gear. The tough part about this is airlines charge you per luggage, and different airlines cost different fees. One bag that has your camera gear, your lenses, your media, things like that. That bag, make sure it can fit on the airline. Never, ever, ever put this bag under the plane. Always bring it with you on the plane. So one, you know it's safe, and we all know how airlines chuck the baggage in sometimes, so you wanna make sure it's safe in your hands. And another good thing is sometimes airlines lose your luggage. Now, if you're going all the way overseas and you're working for a client, and your luggage gets lost, at least if it's something like a slider, a tripod or whatever, it's still gonna be stressful, but if you still have your camera gear, your lenses and your media, at least you can still shoot something, whether it's handheld or whatever. So always bring that baby with you on the plane. Bringing your own luggage costs more money. Now what I found is if you bring someone with you, whether it's your other half, some friends or people trying to learn how to do filmmaking, so you bring assistants with you, that's always the best bet, because when you travel, you get one free luggage and carry-on. And if you have another person, they get one free luggage and a carry-on. Now you're thinking, but I gotta pay for that person out of the budget or whatever for that person to have a seat on the plane. But when you do that, you're getting more gear along with you for pretty much the same price as a seat for the person. And it's always best to have another person with you anyways, because you got the extra help and you got the company. I mean, I remember one time I was shooting with James Miller, if you can remember this. We were shooting in Spain, and his flight back was pretty much straight away. So we checked in, did all our luggage, and he was flying back to London, I think. And his flight back was straight away, and mine was going back to Bristol. I had to wait 7 hours in the airport by myself. And I think at this time I was still scared of flying. I'm over it now, but my mind was playing all kinds of tricks because you got 7 hours in this airport. It was just boring and tiring. I tried to sleep, couldn't sleep. So if I had the extra person with me, it'd have been a bit better. You can at least, you know, conversations, mess around, film some stuff or whatever. Now, the fees with hiring the gear, it can sometimes be more than bringing your own, even though you're paying for the luggage. And like I said, even though it's the same gear, it might not work exactly the same as your own. And then you got to worry about picking it up, dropping it off. And if you don't have a hire car and you got to taxi it or whatever. So I always recommend paying for your own. That way it's your own. Anything goes wrong, you don't have so much stress. And bring an extra person with you to split the luggage cost. Usually with luggage, sometimes they charge you like 50, 60 bucks a bag. If you need lights, that might be a thing you want to hire abroad because it's just going to be easier. The power is already going to be converted for you. Besides this shoot, I am taking my Razr 7 with me because I kind of can't live without it at the moment with my luggage and the fees. It's like bring my LED lights or my Razr 7. Now I love my LED lights, but at the end of the day, they are going to work just as a quick fill light. I'd rather have some shape and some harsh shadows and things like that and diffuse it. So I'm going to bring my Razr 7 with me. Although I need to keep my eye and get some cash going for the aperture lights because that 120D looks pretty impressive for the wattage and what you can get out of it and the portability. So I definitely got my eye on that. But I hope this helps people out with traveling abroad, especially if it's your first time, because it can be quite daunting. And it's definitely daunting on the clients when they receive those receipts for that luggage. So give them a heads up of what you're taking beforehand, because it does rack up the bills. And remember, it's both ways. So if you're paying £50 for one luggage, another luggage, another luggage, you're like, oh, that's not so bad, it's £150. Double that, because you gotta bring that back as well. And like I said, bring that camera, lenses, and media with you on the plane with you, and your laptop, so you can edit and definitely shoot if anything goes wrong. Because even when I got back to the UK once, they lost my slider and it took about 2 or 3 days to get here. Now if I was shooting and that was my camera gear, I'll be pretty screwed. Another thing to keep on top of is filming permits. So don't set up shoots where you're promising your client you're going to shoot in these places and get away with it, because sometimes you might need a filming permit for those places. You might not get away with it, you might get shut down. Do I recommend doing it without getting a permit? It really all depends on your crew and where you're shooting. Some places you can get away with and you can just apologize and say, I didn't know we weren't allowed to film here. I don't recommend that. Hope this helps people out. Thanks for watching. I'll check you guys next time.